part in Jakarta, where the recovery effort and investigation is centered, and no survivors have been found among the 62 people on board. Well, for more, we have Captain Gema Goeyardi joining us live from Jakarta this morning. He's an FA flight instructor as well as a Citation V jet captain. So, Gema, thank you very much for joining us this morning. You know, reports are saying that it was 4 minutes after taking off that the plane lost more than 10,000 feet in altitude in less than 60 seconds. What does the data tell you about what could have happened to the plane, and could the crash have been avoided?
Okay, good morning. First of all, I'm sending our deepest condolences for this. May God bless all the families. And please be aware that what we will discuss is not a conclusion and just an awareness for early analysis according to secondary data that we're using the ADS-B technology. The conclusion will only be made by the NTSC with the primary data later from the flight data recorder that we believe that we already discovered it. However, since they will take so much time by following the certain procedures on the Annex 13 or CASR or FAR 830, that's for the accidents, we believe the public still has a right to get a better picture about what happened, and this content will minimize the wild speculation out there. We do our best to give public ideas for what is likely to happen. Basically, accident happens not just for one reason. So if people asking why this happened, the reason is this like a chain of causes aligned together at the perfect time, perfect place to create a catastrophic accident, just like a Swiss cheese model. We only know for sure the cause of this accident with the complete data by using the flight data recorder. But there are two types of accidents. The number one is the CVIT, the control flight into terrain, and loss of aircraft control. And this accident, I believe this is not a controlled flight into terrain because the airplane is not flying to the mountain area, but the loss of aircraft control is likely become the category of this accident. And based on the data, we completely see when the airplane departs from Jakarta and following the standard instrument departure, we believe it is Abasa to departure, is after airborne heading to the west, and the airplane took off to the right after 1,000 feet. And at some point, we call that RNAV departure point Ajuna. The airplane should turn to the right for heading 081, but instead, maybe the airplane is requested for avoiding the weather. Then the Sriwijaya kept flying to the north. Then after that, the plane reached the 10,900 feet according to the ADS-B. But in the 0740 GMT, suddenly something happened. The plane dived down for minus 4,500 feet per minute and turning to the left. And finally following by minus 27,000 feet per minute, 30,000 feet per minute. And yeah, it's just like that. At some point at the height of 5,400 something, then suddenly it showing the positive rate of climb about 20,000 feet per minute going up. This really weird situation, and not for more than few seconds is the final catastrophe happened. The plane crashed to the water. So everything happened just like less than 1 minute.
Hi, Gema. You know, this raises an important issue because, I mean, notwithstanding the age of the aircraft, and I want to talk about that too, because according to the data, that Boeing 737 is almost 27 years old and was operated by Continental and United. We'll put that aside for now because it's a much earlier edition of the 737 family of jets. I want to raise the issue of communications between the pilot and the co-pilot and also the traffic and tower, because when you look at the transcripts of Lion Air, there seemed to be a lot of confusion with the co-pilot, the pilot, and also air traffic control, because they also couldn't get a reading on their altitude. And when the co-pilot addressed it to the pilot, he asked the pilot, do you want to return? Because they knew very early on that those readings were incorrect. And then the air traffic control proceeded to clear Lion Air to go up to 27,000 feet. Surely, if there was an issue, right, whether the jet is old or new, if there were wrong readings with, the instruments in the cockpit, why isn't there standard operating procedure for these planes to return immediately to the ground?
Yeah, there's so much difference between the 737 MAX and this 737-500. There are two different airplanes, two different technology. And what happened with the Lion Air is absolutely the problem from the instrument itself. And the pilot already aware that something happened with the airplanes, and Boeing already showed that the MCAS problems caused the catastrophic accident for Lion Air or even Ethiopian Air. And this airplane is completely different because nothing was happened until 10,900, and there's no such thing like a distress call, because we can see there's no distress call in the squawk, and the air nav, the ATC will never say that the airplane on the problem or any little situation. No, everything was normal. After passing 10,000 feet, they do like normal procedures. They set the FMC to the constraint speed. Like below 10,000 feet, they will fly at 250 knots. And after 10,000 feet, the autopilot, the flight management computer, automatically set the speed to the higher speed. Then they shallow their rate of climb, and suddenly the dive down happened. So if you want to make like same comparison, this is completely different with the Lion Air situation, and we never know exactly what happened inside the communication. That's why we need to wait until the cockpit voice recorder comes, and we will wait until the NTSC investigation. But if you remember about the Silk Air, the 1996, it's pretty much similar game, similar airplane, because it's one family, the 737-300 and 737-500. Okay, that's a classic Boeing. That was also the loss of aircraft control. So we may learn from previous accident like loss of aircraft control due at the same airplane types. That's what I mean.
Right, Gema, thank you so much for talking to us today. That was Captain Gema Goeyardi, FAA flight instructor and citation VJet captain.